Is it a good idea to invest in XRP? With its wild price swings, legal battles, and promises of transforming cross-border payments, XRP has been one of the most controversial yet fascinating cryptocurrencies there is. But is it worth your money, or is it just hype? Today, we'll break down the fundamentals, including recent developments and updates to the XRP roadmap, so you can make your own decision. Let's dive in.
So Ripple started years ago with this macro vision of how do we enable an internet of value? How do we let value move the way information moves today? We think about how easy it is to send an email to anyone in the world or a text message. Not that many years ago, that was not so easy. And you wrote a handwritten letter and it received 3 or 4 days later in the mail. And money in some ways is the same. Today, moving money between networks, you can't send money from PayPal to Venmo, let alone you talk about cross-border international payments. The friction is high, the cost is high. Ripple aspires to really enable that internet of value to let value move seamlessly across borders, pay anyone, anytime, anywhere, just like sending an email. And I think we will see that future by leveraging technologies like crypto.
So what's the mission of your company? What do you want to do? How do you want to change the world or impact it?
Well, we think by unlocking those kind of economic borders, the friction that exists today, by unlocking that, you open up opportunities for entrepreneurs, for even the people who want to send money home to anywhere you may have come from pick your country in South America. And so we think by doing that, you're giving people opportunity, economic freedom. You're inviting them into, people who are unbanked can become more banked, partly because you're simply reducing costs. But partly also, there's some people who can hold crypto and transact that don't have a bank account, and that's okay. So we think that by kind of moving the world forward, we're rewiring financial infrastructure in a way that's good for society.
What is the relationship between Ripple and XRP? Ripple is a technology company that makes it easier to build a high-performance global payment business. XRP is a digital asset independent of this, meaning XRP is the blockchain, specifically the XRP ledger. And as you can see, the website is xrpl.org, meaning the decentralized blockchain, like Bitcoin, like Solana, like Ethereum. Ripple is a technology company. The XRP ledger protocol was developed in 2011 and officially launched in June 2012. It was created by David Schwartz, Jeb McCaleb, and Arturo Brito, who were inspired to build a more efficient and scalable blockchain compared to Bitcoin's proof-of-work system. Bitcoin came out right around 2009, so XRP has been there from the beginning. They're a very seasoned, a very veteran consensus network, and they have been through every single bull cycle and they've survived it all. So XRP definitely can outsurvive almost any other cryptocurrency except perhaps Bitcoin.
The legal battles. It seems like you guys have been embroiled in lawsuits or litigation with the SEC for some time. And I know a lot of folks in the crypto community and the XRP army or family were so hopeful that it would have been over.
Yeah.
And now it's not.
Yeah. Look, Trina, it's really frustrating, to be honest with you. Here we are as a U.S. company that has always been compliance first and kind of front foot around how do we make sure we're getting licensing where we need licensing. And the United States Securities Exchange Commission took a position that I think was not reflective of the law. We had a judge in a district court, a federal judge, confirm that yes, in fact, she agrees the SEC's position was not correct. And now the SEC has decided they're going to appeal that decision. I think it's going to backfire for the SEC, and now you're going to have even a higher appellate court validating a lower court's decision. And today, the law of the land is that XRP is not a security. I think we're going to see that affirmed with the higher court. And we're willing to fight this all the way to the Supreme Court because we feel very strongly we're on the right side of the law. And honestly, more importantly, we're going to be on the right side of history.
In the crypto community, everyone is well aware of Ripple's lawsuits with the SEC. And every time good news came out about it, you would see Ripple's price go to the upside tremendously. Ripple and SEC near resolution in 4-year lawsuit over 125 million XRP sale penalty. Ripple Labs and the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission are nearing the conclusion of their long-running legal battle, with discussions on a 125 million penalty imposed on Ripple in 2024. That is a big chunk of change. Ripple's chief legal officer, Stuart Alderati, addressed the ongoing negotiations on March 11th of this year, 2025, stating that Ripple's case was further along than others and it already had a judgment and is in the appeals process. He acknowledged that this is added complexity but remains confident about a resolution. Acting Chair Mark Uyeda has dropped cases against other crypto firms like Coinbase, Consensus, and Kraken. But due to Ripple's mature case, it was more difficult for the SEC to simply drop them. The case dates back to December 2020 when the SEC accused Ripple of selling XRP as an unregistered security. We saw that claim from the SEC throughout 2018, 19, 20, 21, 22. It was the most common legal tool used to come after cryptocurrency exchanges and protocols. In August 2024, Judge Anil Sala Torres ruled that XRP was not a security in programmatic sales on exchanges, but upheld penalties for institutional sales. The SEC, then led by Gary Gensler, thank God he is gone, appealed the ruling, and Ripple responded with a cross appeal. At the same time, Ripple's involvement in U.S. politics has been growing. In December 2024, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse suggested that the company's political engagement might have been different had the SEC been under different leadership.
Last year, I promised to make America the Bitcoin superpower of the world and the crypto capital of the planet, and we're taking historic action to deliver on that promise, as you know, around the table. Yesterday, I signed an executive order officially creating our strategic Bitcoin reserve, and this will be a virtual Fort Knox for digital gold to be housed within the United States Treasury. That's a big thing, Scott.
So this provides a lot of certainty for Ripple, for frankly me personally, because the SEC had sued me. The SEC has abandoned their appeal. And so they filed suit in December of 2020. We won on the key parts of the case in the summer of 23. Judge Torres made a ruling that XRP in and of itself was not a security. That's almost a verbatim quote. The SEC filed an appeal about 8 months ago. And what they've now agreed is that they're going to drop that appeal. We still have a cross appeal pending. And so we go from being defendant really to plaintiff. So we now are in the driver's seat to determine how we want to proceed.
Are you dropping it?
We're going to see. It feels a lot better to be on the offense than the defense. You know, 4 years, we spent over $150 million defending that case. Not just for Ripple, but for the whole industry. I think it was really important that this SEC, the Gensler SEC, was really trying to bully and continue lawfare, filing lawsuits and lawsuits and lawsuits against crypto companies. That's over now, and I think that's great for the U.S. crypto industry and frankly, great for crypto at large.
Bank of America is a bank with a lot of problems, and it's probably the weakest major bank in America. It's no surprise to me that they're open to the biggest change given their situation, and the solution that XRP is providing will be absolutely massive for its protocol.
Still pretty optimistic. You know, I'm always nervous about making predictions. I think it's easy to be right about that something's going to happen. It's harder to be right about when. I think the macro trends around crypto are very, very, very positive. We can debate, how quickly those things are going to happen. But look, as we just talked about, in a world where governments often overspend and inflate currencies, holding either non-inflationary or even deflationary assets like cryptocurrencies is a good place to be. So, not that many years ago, about 10 years ago, the total market cap of all crypto was maybe 1 billion. Today, it's about 2.5 trillion. So, that's a lot of appreciation over 10 years. I predicted earlier this year that we would see crypto overall maybe hit 5 trillion this year. It's got a lot of work to do between now and the end of the year to achieve that. But it's less to me about exact timing and more about that macro view of where is the world going. And I'm very optimistic about the future of crypto, in part because eventually we'll get regulatory certainty and regulatory clarity here in the United States, the largest economy in the world.
Anybody interested in investing in XRP should definitely have a look at the XRPL future proposals of 2025. Essentially, these are events that could trigger speculation and positive sentiment for the XRP token. And typically, investors use this information to gauge whether they want to invest in a particular crypto token because these are catalyst events. So for Q2 of this year, token escrow, account permissions, batch transactions, and a permission DEX. Building on DID, permission DEX, credentials, and compliance innovations. Credentials are designed to be lightweight features and are additive to the decentralized identity standard. This is huge because decentralized identity standards, instead of using a social security number and a driver's license, you can have a decentralized identity standard ID. This is already used in Africa in schools. But for places like Cardano, they're doing the identification of people going through, high school and college and such. So this is a standard that could be used instead of the SWIFT system. The credentials standard introduces new credential ledger objects with new transaction types, accepting and deleting credentials. Permission domains allow entities such as financial institutions to establish environments on XRPL to require specific credentials for access. This setup enables organizations to define membership criteria such as know your customer credentials. This is building up the institutional features that are needed for country A to transact with country B and be in compliance. Building upon this, the permission DEX extends the XRP ledger's native DEX to operate within these controlled domains. A DEX is a decentralized exchange, so the permission DEX extends the capability of the decentralized blockchain DEX. This approach allows institutions to engage in decentralized trading while adhering to regulatory requirements such as anti-money laundering and KYC rules. This is important because a lot of the criticism that decentralized technology receives is that there's no ID. It can be used to deal drugs and launder money. If the DEX and the permission DEX can agree based upon the standards and features that are being developed in Q2, then institutions can feel comfortable transacting large transactions. Potentially millions is not a lot in the cryptocurrency world, but hundreds of millions daily, that isn't something that happens just for any cryptocurrency.